It's Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. We're live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio here at 5th and State. And I'm excited about this upcoming event that's happening on June 3rd. It is the Lafayette History Dinner. And with us here from the Perry Square Alliance are Gloria Knox and Allison Kaverman. Appreciate, ladies, that you came by to say hello about this cool event.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
All righty, so let's do a little bit of background on the Perry Square Alliance. I know, Gloria, you've been involved. How many decades now has that been going?
15 years.
15 years, okay. And it's really kind of key to the current Perry Square is a lot of the effort of the Alliance. Can you talk about that?
Well, we are responsible for fixing up Perry Square.
It was kind of falling down on
15
itself.
15 years ago, there were only 3 working lights, and there were no flowers, no trees. There were trees, but not flowering trees. Mm-hmm. And we got some sponsors and fixed it up, and we maintain it. And we also did City Hall, and we also do the hanging baskets on State Street from 4th to 8th.
Kind of the beautification of them all.
Yes. Yep.
And then were you part of the conversation to say, hey, this is what this could look like? Because they really redid it, right? I mean, as far as the stage and, and some of the other things.
There were lots of stages of the development of it.
Sure.
And federal money, it's a complicated story, but there were lots of people that gave money to do various things. And the stage was area was the last thing that was done. So it's a long story.
Well, it's helpful too, because when you think about now how easy it is to activate the square, it wasn't always that way. You'd have to you'd have to book the band shell and move it there and find power. All that stuff was the best thing.
The reason I think it's important that we've fixed up Perry Square, that's the gateway to the lake. Mm-hmm. It's the center of town. It should be really nice because it reflects on how we feel about ourselves, how Erie feels about itself to have this.
It's interesting, too, because there was a big conversation at the time, how many trees are appropriate for the square and so on, and that was quite a conversation. It seems now that the current setup is the right one, is that you can get the sun in there, you can actually dry the grass. It's kind of got a nice field for when there's a concert or something like that for the camp chairs. Yeah. It just worked out,
And Perry Square Alliance on the east side is bounded by French. And this event that we are going to tell you about is on French Street. Right. So it's part of our neighborhood, let's put it that way.
So let's chat about that, but I want to talk about the history first. Okay, so why was it a big deal when the Marquis de Lafayette came to Erie back? What is it now? 200 years
200 years ago, President Monroe invited him to come to the United States and take a tour of the 24 states. We only had 24 states in 1825. And Erie was one of the places he came to. And we held a dinner for him. We didn't hold a dinner for him. Somebody in 1825 held a dinner for him at 2nd and French on a 170-foot bridge over a gully. There is no gully there anymore, obviously.
Right.
And above the bridge were sails that Perry took from the British ships in the War of 1812. So it was a very historic event for Erie. And he was a hero to the United States, to America, because he came when he was 19 to fight in the Revolutionary War alongside of George Washington. And he brought ships, money, and troops. And everybody felt then that he was as responsible as George Washington was for winning the war. So that's why he was such a hero. And to come to this dinner 200 years ago here was a very big deal. And one of the things I want to say about doing this dinner is Erie needs to feel a lot of pride in its history. And I think sometimes they don't. They don't. Mm-hmm. Some people don't know who Lafayette was, perhaps, but he was a very famous Frenchman 19 years old who came and saved us. Saved us, I should put it that way. But we need to have a lot of pride in what Erie has in its history, and this is one special part of its history that we're reenacting.
Does it occur to you, ladies, that for President Monroe to say, here's your route, and we really want you to stop at this burgeoning frontier town that we've designed, and basically that's what Erie was kind of prominent. I mean, this was the new frontier,
right.
the West, basically, the other side of the Alleghenies. It's really remarkable.
It is.
And Allison can tell you a little bit about what our dinner is going to be like.
Right. So we don't have a bridge.
No.
Okay, talk about it, Allison.
So Gloria did a great job of explaining the history of it, and we want to bring a lot of those elements into the dinner that we're preparing. So she had talked about the bridge on French. We will not be building a bridge, but we're going to have a really fantastic chalk drawing of the bridge on the street to give it the element of the bridge. We're also looking to put up some sails over the street if we can, and weather permitting. We have some more.
Okay, which sails are we talking? Are we the originals?
No,
No.
we can't get our hands on those.
No,
but
it's
Wow.
just going to be
Yeah.
an image of a sail.
Okay,
in the
gotcha.
spirit of the event.
Sure,
Yes.
yes.
But what we're really excited about is that we have Tom New, who was with WQLN. He is going to be Lafayette for us
That's
for the
fantastic.
evening. And I hope I can say that he'll be coming in a horse-drawn carriage to the event, with maybe some other people accompanying him around him. We'll have a cocktail hour outside the Children's Museum, with the event and the dinner inside the Children's Museum that evening.
Okay, so there's outside events, but the actual dinner will be inside. Okay,
Yes.
that's good.
And
news.
accompanying the horse-drawn carriage and Lafayette will be, his name is Ron Valentine, not Valentine, but Valentine, dressed in a Revolutionary War uniform.
Yeah, that's awesome. So really, we're bringing people back 200
We are.
years with this, and how do you get involved with this? Talk about some of your sponsors and all that.
We have a lot of sponsors that are really helping to make this possible, yes. And the money that's raised will go to Perry Square Alliance.
Okay.
To continue all the things that we do.
That's tremendous. Are there tickets available now, or is it almost sold out? I mean, wait, what are we talking about here?
There are a handful of
Yeah.
tickets available. There's been a very good response
Sure, I
to
would
this
imagine,
event.
yeah.
But if you go to the Perry Square Alliance Facebook page, there's a link to Eventbrite to purchase tickets.
Terrific.
And there are only 4 left.
4 tickets left? Okay.
So you need to do it quickly.
I would say do it before we get off the air here.
Yeah.
That's remarkable. The do you anticipate, like, is it formal dress? What's the dress attire that you're expecting there?
I would not say black tie.
Right, okay, sure.
It's at 5 p.m. We understand a lot of people might...
6 p.m.
6 p.m., I'm sorry. We understand a lot of people might be coming from work.
Sure.
So, I'd say a business casual.
Right.
If you want to dress in costume, we haven't really talked about that, but
I mean, you could probably sell a lot of those 3-pointed hats, I'm
I
sure.
know, right?
There is no dress code.
Okay, good.
And it's June 3rd at 6 o'clock. So it's a Tuesday also, as
wow.
we said.
Yeah.
Because that was the actual date of the dinner 200 years ago. So we didn't want to put it on a different day.
Again, we've had conversations about Lincoln coming through before the inauguration in Lake City, and he also stopped at our depot, but he would have had to come on horse and carriage. I can't even imagine. Do we know, like, his route? Was he coming from Buffalo or the other way?
He traveled 6,000 miles. In 1825, we did not have airplanes, and the train system was not there. He went by horse and carriage and boats, ships around. That's how he got there, and he was never late for one of the things. And I should say, this is The dinner that was held 200 years ago on June 3rd was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And Lafayette left at 3 and got on a ship on the lake to go to Buffalo.
Okay, so he was on his way to Buffalo.
And that's how he traveled. And 6,000 miles of travel, I don't think that today, with all the wonderful transportation we have, that people would be on time doing that. I mean, I'm just amazed when I read all this story. And people were helping him all along the road. I mean, people were just so excited that he was coming.
We don't we know like what they served? They served interesting cuisine, did they not? We don't know this?
We don't know that.
Oh, okay.
No,
I thought there was some.
I looked that up. And
I thought there was quail or. I thought I had read something about that.
I really did look.
So what are you guys serving, I should say? Yeah.
Pork loin.
Okay, there you go.
Among other things.
Yes.
Yes.
It's remarkable about our history, isn't it? I mean, just how we were prominent.
Yes.
And have been,
yes.
Continue to be, right?
And then also, Erie needs to have its pride about all of this, too. I feel strongly about that.
No, there's no doubt about it. And it all goes to this strong cause of, of making sure that our living room, if you will, if you can call Perry Square our living room, is maintained and updated, right? I mean,
absolutely.
I should probably mention, since there are tickets available, that they're $125 a piece. I should say that.
That sounds about in the pocket, what you would expect for something like this, right? So that's remarkable. What else can we know about this event, or what are some of the plans for the Alliance this summer? I mean, this is a heavy lift, I'm sure, to put this on right now, but yeah.
Well, yes, we're in the midst right now of getting the park prepared. Last week, we mulched the beds, and next week we will plant flowers. No, not next week. 2 weeks we'll be planting flowers. 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And we do that also at the City Hall. It's not just Perry Square.
Right.
We cleaned up City Halls. They had a sort of a messy area at one time, and now it looks very nice.
Yeah. Are you talking about on the north side, pretty much, of City Hall? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that used to be.
There used to be 6-foot high leafy weeds.
Well, I want to say when they designed that in the 50s, wasn't it supposed to have a waterfall, like a continuous fountain along the front end?
Along the front, yes. That doesn't work anymore, I guess.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, it's kind of an interesting, water feature.
We're not responsible for the architecture. We haven't gotten into that.
And you, again, talk about history. You hear about the stories about the old City Hall. I don't remember that one, but what they tore down to build this one, right? But that was before our time,
But we just want to draw attention to Perry
100%.
Square Alliance and what we do. And if you enjoy downtown, if you walk by Perry Square, if you see the flowers, that's what we want you to enjoy and value and have some pride in the city. I grew up in the city. I work in the city. I live in the city. And I just really value this downtown area. So glad that Gloria has invested so much time into it.
And the downtown partnership works so well in the park by putting events on the stage all summer long and fall and spring too.
There's
the skating rink even.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
There's a synergy going on now with downtown, with the new assets around the park, with Gannon, and of course, all the things that are happening here. In fact, there's a block party happening today, with the opening of the country fair. So, there's just, the investment over those 15 years of the Perry Square Alliance, this is it's entering its moment, isn't it?
One more thing, I just happened to think. There is a marker on French Street at 4th and French marking Lafayette's place, and that was set up there in 1895.
Oh, my.
Long time after he'd been here. But that's Lafayette Place. And think of all the things. Lafayette College. The word Lafayette is in a lot of cities, a lot of streets named for him.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's mostly in the 24 states that were in existence when he came. Not so much in the West. That's okay.
Yeah, they pronounce it differently in Tennessee. They call it Lafayette.
Aha.
Okay.
Because it used to be, it's near Nashville. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, go to Lafayette. But, well, this is terrific. I appreciate hearing about this again. June 3rd, there might be tickets, but check it out on the Facebook page of Perry Square Alliance.
Correct.
Here. And if people don't get to come to the event, you're accepting donations. Do you have a link on that page there for like an online donation, or should they send a check? How's that? What's the best way? Well, I mean, again, there's
for the tickets,
or even just
Wow.
send $25 to pay for some flowers or something like that. You'd take that, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Our address is the Downtown Partnership's address, because we don't have a building.
Sure.
Is 140 East 5th, 16501. You could write a check for Perry Square Alliance. That'd be wonderful.
Yep. And keep us in mind on Erie Gives Day as well.
That's
comes
perfect
That's
idea.
a very
yeah.
good idea, yes.
Perfect idea.
We feel strongly that we're doing some nice things for the city.
Well, and you were there and you brought leadership and brought value when, there's been times where the city's just kind of like wrung its hands and couldn't do anything. And so bringing that leadership and saying, let's step in, let's see if we can get something done here. And that's how I remember the Perry Square Alliance making a major impact, is bringing leadership, bringing value, bringing your friends and donors to come to bear, right? I mean, that's how community action gets done, doesn't it?
Yep. Take ownership.
You take ownership. Exactly right. Well, I appreciate it. Gloria, Knox, Allison, Kaverman, thank you, ladies, so much. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Joel.
You got it.
Thank you very much.
It is 8 minutes in front of 4 o'clock.